Hey, what's happening, guys? This is your boy Credit D Will, your everyday credit dad. Welcome to the channel, and thank you guys for tuning in. As you can see, I got a guest here with me today on the channel, the homie low-key Jimmy. He embarked on his 30-day journey with me, and today, that's what we're talking about. We're going to be reflecting on the last 30 days and what we both learned in the process. Got a bag of ice on my hand because I burnt my hand cooking chicken. But anyways, I'm going to let low-key Jimmy introduce himself and tell you guys what's up.
Hey, what's going on? I'm going to introduce myself to my followers as well. All the followers that are tuned into one of the best channels on the net, Low-Key Jimmy. Thank you for joining me. I have a guest on my channel, D'Angelo, over at Creative D Will. You guys can tap in with him. He embarked on the 30-day journey with me as well. We're going to chop it up about pretty much all of the things we learned, the workflow, and things that we went through on this 30-day channel. So take it over, D Will.
Like I was saying, Jimmy embarked on this 30-day journey with me. It was originally my idea. I invited him in on it just so you guys know that. And I actually did way better than he did on the 30-day journey and got a lot more from it. But anyway, so we're going to start off just talking about the DAWs that we chose to use. And kind of like, what did we learn throughout this whole 30 days? And how did it benefit us? And what are some of the workflow hacks we learned throughout this process? Because that was the biggest thing. I know for me, Jimmy, I don't know about you. The biggest thing for me was I learned a lot about my workflow, what works, what doesn't work. And not only did we cook up, but we actually made videos. Obviously, you guys are watching on the platform that we posted the videos. But that in itself was a process. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. So Jimmy, what would you say was the biggest thing that you learned throughout this 30 days?
I think the biggest thing I learned, let's talk music first, because obviously the whole video editing thing was totally new to me. So that's a whole different convo. But biggest thing I learned music-wise was, I would say, how to mix better. I learned a lot of techniques with mixing inside of Studio One, but just overall Studio One in general. As you know, I started out on Machine on the beginning of the 30 days. So probably into day 5, I started using Studio One, which was it was easier to use Studio One than Machine as far as crafting the whole beat. But once I got the workflow down in there, which was super easy because Studio One is super intuitive, one of the best DAWs on the market right now. It was pretty easy for me to get that learning curve.
What do young people say? That's you're capping right now? Okay, carry on.
No cap in my rap, as you guys know. But yeah, that was pretty much the biggest thing for me, learning how to maneuver inside of Studio One, coming from pretty much being 100% Machine. What about you?
Right. So you learned, all right, so why did you switch over to Machine rather than utilize?
Why did I switch to Studio One from Machine?
Yeah. What was the limitations that you found in Machine that you just could not get over compared to the freedoms that you found in Studio One?
Number one, the biggest thing was that playlist, or in Studio One, I think we call it the song page. Just that screen on every DAW, call it something different. The screen where you have all of your WAV files, your vocals, your anything. You can click and drag stuff. Machine doesn't have
a linear editing. Yeah,
it doesn't have a great one. I mean, it has the clips type thing, but wasn't really my vibe. But that was my biggest thing, along with me sampling these hardware synths into the DAWs. I have a lot more control when I'm doing that inside of Studio One. It's literally like I'm hitting record and recording a vocal or recording a guitar. I can have 100% control inside of that DAW.
Yeah. See, like for me, you made a good point because you got hardware gear. I don't have any hardware like analog gear. He got the motif and a wave station and all that other whack stuff. I'm inside the box 100%. So I use complete 13 Ultimate Collector's Editions, and I use a lot of Machine expansions when I cook up. So, and that was one of the biggest deciding factors of me, because I've been working with Cubase. I'm kind of new to producing. I've been working with Cubase for the last, 8-9 years, and I know Cubase like the back of my hand, but I never dove into Cubase. I know Cubase like the back of my hand when it comes to mixing, but I haven't really dove into producing with Cubase. So it was like, okay, do I start off with Cubase or do I start off with Machine? Well, I made the decision to rock with Machine because it was like starting off with a blank slate when it came to producing, and I wanted to kind of learn it. And plus, all of my VSTs and everything was pretty much 90% of them from Native Instruments. So that's the reason why I chose to use Machine. And Jimmy is right. Like, the biggest limitations for me was arranging inside the Machine, because it's not like a linear DAW that I'm used to using like Cubase. Just more so just not being able to arrange a Machine is the biggest thing to me. And if Machine is listening to this, then you guys work on that. I guarantee you, like, you'll have an even worse cult following than you already have. Everybody be jumping ship and going back to the Machine. But yeah, so the reason why I chose Machine over Cubase was the fact that I have a lot of VSTs that are machine based, a lot of VST instruments that are machine based. And I really like the workflow. It's a lot easier to get my thoughts out. It's a lot easier to get things started. And then it took a lot of time to arrange, but that was just one of those give and take things. I had to what we call in the military, shut up and color and figure it out. So, but yeah. All right. So, what was the biggest things you learned in regards to your workflow that you saw that maybe before you thought you were straight, but then as you were going along, you seen that you had some areas that you had to work on?
Definitely mixing the low end. I know me and you spoke about some techniques that I probably brushed up on near the end, or probably honestly, near the end. Yeah. And it's kind of one of those things that it's a constant, especially using these different sounds. So if I'm using an 808 coming from straight out of my hard drive, it's going to hit different than an 808 or bass sound coming out of one of these boards. I got to mix them a little bit different. So pretty much just brushing up on those techniques as far as mixing a low end. I think that's one of the biggest things along, to just mixing in general, but the low end especially.
I think for me, the biggest thing that I learned was, honestly, that arranging is a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be. And then not only that, but not knowing music theory is not a hindrance. Like you don't need to know music theory to produce. But I'm noticing, like, I was chopping it up with you, and I was chopping it up with Stacey, and I was chopping it up with Aaron. And I'm noticing that, like, man, these dudes are a lot faster at cooking up because you guys know music theory. You guys know your ear is kind of tuned into the sounds of what sounds like this key, this sample is in. I got a lot of workarounds, like using mixed in key, utilizing different software to recognize the key of the samples, and then trying to produce from that aspect of it. So I realized that I'm gonna have to eventually suck it up and really dive into music theory. I know a little bit, know the basics, but really diving into music theory and actually learning the instrument, because you've been playing for a while. And your music sounds like music. A lot of times mine sound like I use a sample, and I produce a lot of lo-fi for that reason. So, but yeah, so just music theory is something that I realize I need to work on, and arranging. I really need to work on arranging. But all right, so with that being said, Jimmy, where we go from that? Where we go from here? Because I've been asking all the questions. What do you got, bro?
My question for you would be, let's take it to a favorites. What's one of the VSTs that you found yourself using? Arcade.
I use arcade on everything. Like, if you don't know what arcade is by Output Sounds, and it's like my favorite VST of all times. And I didn't know that I liked it. I don't even know if that's a word. I didn't know that I liked it until I started cooking up on this 30 days. But the thing is that another big thing for me, bro, was the 30-minute factor. Like it was 30 minutes.
I'm gonna be honest, guys. The 30-minute factor wasn't in place, but after the 30 minutes, I kept going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's kind of one of those things, like I told you, for me, and I guess for me, my biggest issue with the 30-minute challenge that held me up a lot of the times was I'm a perfectionist and I get caught up, especially, and this is one of the downfalls of not using MIDI.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? FYI, you have to, there's no correction. You know what I mean? You have to play it. And when you're recording, you got to play it right. So if you don't play it right, you got to redo it. And that mixed with me being a perfectionist, I wanted to sound a certain way every time I play it. I get caught up, you know what I'm saying? 10 minutes can go by of me just putting down one loop. So that's kind of just where I was at. But I fought through it. If I had to pick a VST that I used in every, dang near every song, you see how I didn't cuss? Dang near every song. I would say Halftime would probably be the VST that I use the most, aside from, EQs and stuff like that. I think Halftime is like I told you, I think every producer should have that because it's so versatile and you can make so many different vibes with that. So I'm gonna go with Halftime.
I would say for me, I have to my strong second. I got something popping up. Let me close that out real quick. Now my strong second would be dang, all this stuff dismissed. Oh man, everything popping up. Yeah, my strong second would be RC20 by XLN whatever. RC20.
XLN audio,
yeah, RC20.
I gotta get that. I still haven't purchased it, or if I'm being transparent, I haven't found a crack either. So yeah. But your joke froze again.
No, it's not. It must be frozen on your end. It ain't frozen on mine.
I think it's coming back.
No, I'm good. And if you're recording on my side, so we straight.
But RC20 is crazy.
Yeah, I like it just because, like I said, I do a lot of lo-fi music, and I don't know, man. I just like how it widens it and just makes normal sound aged and sound really give it. Because like since you're producing, you all right, bro? Who's that?
You hear that?
Yeah, I hear that. That's on your end, bro. That's scary. Sorry about that, you guys. We actually took a little quick break. Jimmy had some aliens outside his house, so we're back. But anyway, so we was talking about my second favorite plugin, which is RC20. I love RC20. It ages the sound, and the reason why I really like it is because I do a lot of inbox producing. So I have a lot of VSTs and everything like that. And I just wanted to make it sound like it's analog or older vintage. And Jimmy, he has a lot of hardware. So he probably wouldn't use it as much as I used it.
No, so here's the thing, bro. I would love to use RC20, not rich yet. So I don't have it. Haven't found a crack for it either. But I am going to end up purchasing either that, or if you guys check out D Will's channel, he has a review of Curtis King's. I don't know what it's called.
Tape Boy. Oh yeah. Tape Boy. Oh yeah. Tape Boy. Tape Boy is one of my. I guess that would be my third plugin since I didn't name it here. But so, Tape Boy is dope. Yeah.
Both of those, I would still use them because it still gives it a different ambiance. It still gives it a different feel. So definitely gonna. I know you love when I use that word. Yeah. But definitely gonna end up getting one of those two plugins. Probably
that's not how you talk for real.
Ambiance. You join me on my channel. I'll talk all about ambiances and vibes on my channel, guys. Sure. But
we don't want to go backwards in life. All right. So like I said, the next question. So the next question would be, if somebody was going to embark on a 30-day cookup, or even like say a week cookup. Man, my hand is burning. Put that ice back on it. Like even a week cookup. Like, what is one thing you would tell them that you wish you would have known when you started, or one thing that you could tell them that will kind of encourage them or help them along this process?
Oh, man, there's so many. I mean, even me, I know this 30 days is going to be building off of the last 30 days, but even just get your workflow test run. That's what I would say. Test run it. Before you actually start, test run and have your workflow down as far as how you're going to get it into, well, I'm speaking if you're going to put it on YouTube or record it, but that's the angle I'm coming from. But just test run it, make sure everything's working properly. And I would even write it down, checklist it. All right, make sure this is working, this is working, this is working. And because one of the things I do now is before I record is I do a test run. So 15 seconds, I'll play my board, I'll speak into the mic, I'll play something inside of Studio One to make sure everything is going into OBS correctly, make sure it's not choppy when I, play it back. If I play it back and it's good to go, all right, now I can actually record. That's kind of what I do, just kind of a test run.
Okay. So but let's say from the standpoint of if they're not putting it up on YouTube and they just cooking up, what's one thing you would say?
Cooking up. Yeah. 30-day challenge. If you're doing it, especially for 30 days, don't get tied into a specific sound. Don't get tied into you just create, because the 30-day challenge isn't, I wouldn't say it's a challenge to make every 30 songs hits. You know what I'm saying? Just fire. Some beats are going to be not as strong as another beat. You know what I mean? Yeah. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday might be all fire. The rest of the week might be trash and might be learning experiences. So don't get tied up on, bad ideas or ideas that aren't as strong as the last one.
Yep. There's no such thing as a bad beat. Unfinished beat is a bad beat. And like a lot of mine was unfinished. So for me, I would say the biggest thing that I learned is that accountability was the biggest thing that helped me, that actually got me through this whole 30-day cook up, is being accountable. I had, for one, the main person, Jimmy, we held each other accountable. We checked in every day. It's like, yo, did you upload your video? It was times that I got off of work and got the kids to bed and everything like that, and then mess around and be up to like almost 12 o'clock and got to wake up at 5 o'clock the next morning trying to put a video out. But just having Jimmy, seeing him post his video, I was like, well, shoot, I have to do it now. Like, I can't miss this day. And that's what kept me. So having somebody to hold you accountable. And I think number 2 is, like you said, is don't think about it. Just whatever sounds good, put it. Also, I've learned to find my go-to sounds, like sounds that I really I know that I'm gonna use. And I actually made myself a template that I didn't have beforehand. But the first few days, I just cooked up. And I said, okay, I'm gonna just cook up, and I realized what plugins I was going to, what sounds I kept going to, and then I just made me a template based off of that. And now that's like my go-to template that starts up in Machine every time. So a template to start off with, it is freaking wonders, and it's a must-have whenever you're trying to go through this challenge. I got one. That's mine. I think my points are stronger and better than yours, but okay, go.
That's definitely debatable. But I'm going to go ahead and ask you this.
What?
And you can go ahead and ask me as well as a command.
Yes, ma'am.
What are your 3, I'm going to say 3, but 3 or more going into the next 30 days? What are the 3 things, music-wise or creative-wise, that you will be embarking on for the next 30 days?
All right. So I know for me, creative wise is, like I said, music theory. So as you can see, I got this keyboard right here. I'm working on actually doing a DIY project where I put the keyboard up under the desk, and I'm gonna start using playground sessions or melodics, but I haven't figured out which one I'm gonna use. I own playground sessions, so I might lean towards that. And I'm gonna dive into learning how to play the keys and learning music theory. And another thing that I'm gonna do creatively is starting to fully understand the plugins and stop buying so much stuff, except for that new Machine expansion that just came out today. I'm gonna buy that because that don't look fire. I forget the name of it, but anyway, but just stop buying plugins and start to really dive into the stuff that I already have and learn the stuff in and out. Like I dove into Cubase for a little bit. Oh, that's another thing too. I'm probably gonna start learning how to produce in Cubase as well.
What sparked that?
What sparked that? What do you mean? What sparked that?
What sparked you diving into Cubase and wanting to just dive into Cubase?
It wasn't Wax Studio One, if that's what you're trying to get at, Mr. Jimmy.
No, I was getting at me. I think I definitely said, hey, you should.
Yeah, you did encourage me to actually utilize Cubase a little bit more. And the only reason is because I don't like having to stop the process of creating. But I'm learning that, man. I don't know. Cubase, I love you, Cubase. I've been with you for a while, but Machine is just something about Machine that it's gonna be hard for me to pull away, bro. I even got it mapped where it actually records the MIDI from Machine into Cubase and everything like that, but it's still just not a seamless process. So, but yeah.
Okay.
But because you got hardware, so you're cheating.
How is that cheating?
Because like there's really no you're not really giving anything up far as like workflow. You see what I'm saying? Mine, I have to alter my whole workflow. You still got your main hardware. So you just transition from machine to Studio One that's kind of, you got it rigged out kind of to operate how Machine operates.
Yeah, it's a machine without the wrinkles.
Yeah, no, it's not Machine without the wrinkles. It's
for
just
me, from my standpoint, and I say that because
it's a bootleg machine. Bootleg machine.
No, it's actually
bootleg.
That's gonna be a different video, guys.
Yeah.
What is Machine lacking in? We'll figure out the name, but definitely
Machine
we're gonna
is the best
dive
thing in the world. Hey, Machine, you guys, you see this guy over here is jumping ship. I love you guys. So if you want to sponsor me, you can fully sponsor me. He's a Studio One. I've been with Cubase for a long time, but I still love you guys. So I'm still endorsing you guys. So I just put that
I
out
love
there.
Machine, and I don't want it to get it twisted. Like last night, I cooked up three.
Hey, Jimmy, show me your Machine Plus.
The Machine Plus was I gave it away.
He did not give it away.
Gave it away to one of my subscribers. So if you guys like gear giveaways, go ahead and join me over at Low Key Jimmy on YouTube.
You stupid, bro.
Get some gear one day, man.
You stupid, yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say for me, my next 30 days.
Yeah.
Obviously beats. I'm gonna work on a gospel project for my sister. So that's gonna be the beats that I will be producing will be all for that project, and learning to mix better, tighten up. I want to be able to just go in there and kill a mix every time and not have to go back. Well, I know, a lot of engineers go back, but I want to be able to have a strong mix the first time and have that like a good foundation. And then one more for music is craft some more songs for my project that should be coming up maybe in 2 months after the gospel project is finished.
We'll see.
So that'll be my 3. What was that?
Huh?
What was that?
What happened?
I thought I heard something. Sorry.
Nah, bro. Oh, you know what else we both said that we was gonna do for you guys is to get better at making content. So our YouTube content, like
tutorials.
I know for me, yeah, tutorials and just diving in, showing you guys how to. Cause I learned a lot, man, a lot about the machine that I just did not know. So I'm gonna be cranking out some videos. Oh, also, I'm working on my my website. I'm gonna have it up by the end of this month, July, and I'm gonna have got merch up there. I gonna try to have a basic machine course, my first basic machine course up there for you guys, and it might be free, not sure, depending on where I go with the platform. So that's a shameless plug for myself that I wanted to put out there. The website is almost done. It will be up by August 1st. Right? That's the next month, right? Yeah, August 1st, it will be up. So the next 30 days, I will be putting that out for you guys. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it, man. I think we hit all the points and keys that we wanted to get to. So you got anything else, Jimmy?
Thank you guys for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe both channels. That's all I got, man. I love you guys, so.
Yeah, I love you guys as well. And if you don't do anything, make sure you subscribe to Creative D Well. All right, bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Yo, that's how I believe.